tell me about the other person that you know of that their live feed gets muted pretty consistently. Tell me about them. I'd love to talk to them. I'd love for you to show me like who they are, and I can ask them, you know, what kind of shit they deal with. And of course, the feed that is muted is the one that's allowed to have, you know, do pretty well. Get to 7 whole viewers. I mean, at this point, it's funny to be excited about 7 viewers, but, you know, with what they give me, it's, 7 viewers is a lot anymore. Feel it on my breath. Hey, buddy. I was watching this, it's like a first date kind of show. I don't know what the fuck are. It's out the UK. He was a gay guy and he had Tourette's, and he would go, hey. At one point he goes, I'm on lots of drugs. No, I'm really not. Like, he had a great attitude about it, but he was weird because, like, he wouldn't like say something to people. He wouldn't like warn them, like, oh, by the way, I'm about to fucking start whoop 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 whoop, like doing all kinds of weird shit. I have Tourette's, don't like freak out or anything. Like, it's weird to think that you would have Tourette's syndrome and you wouldn't sort of prepare people. Like, I would love it if I had a friend with Tourette's. I would fucking love it. I would never be embarrassed. I would stand up for the person. I would, you know, but I would just love it. It would be so fucking funny to me. You know, and it's weird because when you think about it, do we all have that in our bodies? Do we all have that potential for the wiring to get screwed up? I mean, like what is even happening there? Like, he's saying things that nobody even says, and that aren't true. And it's not like it's the inner monologue. It's just a random, like, number draw. Anything could come out. Strange shit, man. What an affliction to have. I would hate having it. I would love to have a friend with it, but I would hate having it. Or to have, like, my kid have it. It's got to be difficult. How do you ever live a normal life? How are you ever in a normal relationship with someone when that's the case? Especially, like, having sex. Doesn't heighten states of emotion trigger the tics even more? So wouldn't sex bring that shit out even more? Feelings on my breath, gentle emotion. I don't know all the words. But so it's interesting because, like, back in 2002, 3, my ex-junkie girlfriend, who was literally like one of the coolest people, like naturally cool, one of those naturally cool people that everybody was just drawn to, and she was this heroin addict, ex-heroin addict, stripper, but just the just just a whole bunch of trouble. Obviously, I was dysfunctional as fuck that I would ever even entertain that idea. But everybody that met her wanted her. So even if you were like the put together type, you would have wanted this around. She wasn't like gorgeous or anything. She was decent looking, but she just had a presence about her. But she introduced me to Massive Attack. I knew about Teardrop way before House. Massive Attack and Portishead. She used to listen to them all the time. And it was weird when they you angel. That song is amazing. I'll go. How's it going, man? Open up my eye, open up my eye. I rewrote that at some point. Rewrote something else. I wonder where that is. Love you, 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 man. You guys think of Snatch? The song's been used in a bunch of shit, but I think of Snatch. Oh. Such a weird existence, man. Obviously broken as shit. It's so broken to ever have even entertained a relationship with Bonnie was just I was just so broken. It's strange for me to be myself and look back on like the 20s and 30s me, but the 20s teens, and it's this different person. It's this young kid who I feel really bad for. And I see like the phoniness and the false bravado and the guy who thought he was supposed to sleep with every chick he could possibly sleep with, and just live this empty existence. And I felt, I feel so bad for him. Like it's like a person, a separate person. I barely remember what it's like to be that person. And at the same time I do. That's why I feel so bad for him, because I know what a disaster. It would have been way more shocking if I would have done well. If I would have, gotten out of the house and hit the ground running. That would have been shocking. I was just so dysfunctional. And I look at my family and I look at, how pompous they are, and how arrogant they are. Just how different it all is, man. It's just crazy. I'm the black sheep of the family because I want the best for everybody. Because I don't discriminate against anybody. Because I question things and I choose to educate myself beyond the given parameters, and it's just so strange that they would be, God, what a dumbass, that they would be so it's so weird to be related to those people and then still be so separate. It's all just crazy. Dysfunction is crazy. And mine is so much different. Like, I don't have a situation that I can talk to with other people about, because they don't have this. You know, even if you had like abusive parents physically, or even worse, they never made you feel like they didn't want you. And as crazy as that sounds, like that's a really harsh thing to do to somebody, your own kid. And I could totally get it if I had, you know, earned that spot. Not just been somebody that grew up troubled and dysfunctional and had a hard time adjusting, and, you know, if that wasn't the case, I was some bad guy. I was stealing, I was, you know, if that was the case, I could totally see it. But like even on my dad's side, right? Because I would post things like, look, if you're not going to support me, my stuff, then don't be my friend. And this includes my family. Because even if I didn't support you, like even if I didn't like what you did or whatever, I would still support you. And, you know, by saying that, apparently that meant I was, you know, I was the bad guy. I had a bad attitude because I wanted support from my family. Just weird. You know, I'm part of me is like not necessarily glad, but like I understand, like when you look at things like it's all a big plan and shit like that. If it weren't for my family being so awful, I wouldn't be able to do what I do so effortlessly. You know, I wouldn't be able to deal with all of the trolls and all the bullshit that comes my way. Because I've seen how people like Christy Moreno would lose it with the trolls, you know. The trolls would talk shit, and she would get into it with them and yell at them, and I'd just be like, what are you doing? Yes, I do. I absolutely have a job for you. It's more of an internship, but still, you know, it's a valuable experience. It requires a whole lot of TBG sharing and promoting and helping change the world. I mean, it is like, it sounds arrogant or foolish or whatever, but I mean, we literally are talking about changing the world. You know, my feed gets any sort of real position, any sort of platform, my music starts getting played, it's literally going to change the world. It might not be like drastic overnight change, but it's going to change things. And you know, just having somebody tell people it's okay for you to question the Jews, it's okay for you to not support Israel, it's okay for you to not be a Christian. You know that Christian bullshit is more Jewish bullshit, right? Like, it's okay. People don't know that just kind of regular thinking, regular questioning, regular existing, you know, it's okay. You don't have to support them. What's gonna happen? What's the worst that can happen? I mean, obviously they can fuck with you and shit, there's that, but I mean, as far as, like, at the end of the day, do you really care if somebody discriminates against you, doesn't like you because you say we should stop the genocide? You know, is that the type of person you even care about? Why would you care about that person? Why would you care about that person's opinion? They support genocide. It really bothered me the other day when I heard that Quintopoulos, Flynn Quintinson, Augo sent it. What was his name? Oh, Quinn O'Flynn. He sent me the Quinn O'Flynn. You make sick beats too. Good, man. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. Quinn O'Flynn made this video where he talked about how he supported Israel prior to October 7th, and even after October 7th, he thought Hamas was the bad guy, and yada, yada, yada. But then when he started noticing some stuff that sort of went against what he thought, and he started asking questions to his Jewish friends and whatnot, they were mean to him. And that's unacceptable to him. It's unacceptable that they be mean to him. He's allowed to ask questions, and they are not allowed to just be mean to him for asking questions. And it was just so basically, they've been committing genocide. They've been starving children to death, starving babies, bombing hospitals. The whole false flag of October 7th, and then the 70 years plus, the 75 years plus prior to October 7th, from 1948, and then even earlier, all the shit that happened earlier, and the Havara Agreement, and the auto emancipation pamphlet, and the Balfour Agreement, and all these things that exist that show you that these people are the worst, and they are, Palestine is just a view of the future. If you're paying attention, you see our future. That's good, Quinn, catching on. Is it though? Because again, that's the point here. It's like, is he catching on? and he even ends the video with, I would still agree with, I would still support Israel if basically not for them being mean to me. And to me, that sounds like, $7K a month Israel propaganda. At this point, the Israelis know they have to have the Ian Carrolls. They have to have the Flynn O'Quinns. They have to have these guys out there, because you have to have people out there questioning Israel now. If there was nobody out there, it would be too obvious. So they always do that. Like, depending on where we are is what they give us. It's really simple, actually. And so, Jesus Christ. And so you look at that, at the situation for what it is and what they're giving us, and they have to be doing this. So when you really look at somebody like what he said, he's not a good guy. He's literally, now he's calling out all the atrocities, but only because they were mean to him. And I'm sorry, but to me, that's kind of unacceptable. So what, they were mean to you? Do you, just because they didn't answer your questions? But prior to them not answering your questions, you supported their genocide? What the fuck's wrong with you? And so to me, he seems like a $7K a month. He seems like one of those guys that we heard about, one of those influencers that Israel is paying $7,000 to do what? We don't know. Who is it? We don't know. We just know that they're doing it. And I see so many of these. I mean, if you're catching on, but it's for the wrong reasons, is it still just as good? I don't know. That's the part I'm really struggling with right now. Because, you know, you've seen what we've been doing these last few days. I'd be doing it now, is the deep dive into Jesus. Because so many of these truthers out here consider themselves to be Christians and say things like, oh, the Jews hate Jesus, the Jews hate Jesus, and shit like that. And it's like, that's not really what's happening, you know? I mean, they do, but they hate Christians, but they hate Christians in a, like, you're a dumb Goyim kind of way. Nothing special. There's nothing special about you. There's nothing special about the fact that you believe in their goofy bullshit. But they literally gave you they gave you the Bible. They gave you the narrative. They gave you the character. Because it's a character, no doubt about it. And for some reason, you don't seem to understand that. Go fuck yourself, you and your stupid ass God. Now what? Jesus is dumb, Jesus is gay, Jesus is bad, Jesus is all these things. And I don't think gay is bad, but I do think Jesus was gay. Well, I think if the Jesus narrative was true, then that guy would be gay. You need to be respectful. You little boy wouldn't say it in real life. Oh yeah, you're right. I wouldn't say it in real life. You're right. I definitely wouldn't. I haven't been doing this for years. And why wouldn't I say it in real life, good Christian? Tell me how you would respond to me saying words you don't like, good Christian. Come on. Repent and stop running away from the truth. What the fuck are you talking about? I am telling the truth. I'm the one that actually looks into it. You understand that Jesus is a Jewish fairy tale, right? Do you understand that? You don't stand for anything. I do. Yes, I don't stand for anything. That's what it is. You fold, I don't. Oh yeah? You believe what you're supposed to believe. You want to talk about folding, you can't even think for yourself. You believe in some goofy Jewish fairy tale. Like, what are you even talking about? It's truth under pressure. Blame God and hate God instead of taking God. Yeah, do you understand you can't blame or hate something that doesn't exist? Like, look at how stupid you are. You can't even rationalize what's being said here. And so you're having this temper tantrum. Again, you said I wouldn't say this in real life. Why? What would you do? Good Christian, how would you respond to hearing words you didn't like? Tell us. Only there is truth, but you're blinded by your hate. Yeah, here we go. Here comes another one of these people who doesn't actually know their shit and who's going to say a bunch of the same blanket statements they always do because they're so stupid. So full of ego and pride. Oh, how dare I be prideful? Gotta love that Bible that teaches you not to have pride. So stupid. I'm going to take advice from someone who hates themselves. What are you talking? Yes, I hate myself. Look at how desperate you are. You really, like, you can't make any reasonable arguments, so you're just good Christian saying all kinds of judgy, stupid things because you're not intelligent. It's okay, though. Like, you can learn. You know, if you want to, you could learn. You don't have to be this dumb your whole life. You know, I hate myself, but you who comes in saying all this dumb shit, you must clearly love yourself and your crazy pedo religions. The argument is God exists, but you're afraid to admit out of the hate in your heart. So, am I afraid or is it hate? Which one is it? We're talking about two different things. And it's not because it's stupid and there's no evidence and, you know, it's a Jewish fairy tale. That's not what it is. It's because of the hate in my heart. But I do really, really hate pedophilia, and your church seems to love it. Both can be true. You are hateful and God exists. So stupid. It's like you can't even follow the conversation. You're just, science backs it up too, yeah? Where does science back up God? The difference is you want me to be soft, but I'm blunt, the truth. Yeah, that's what it is. Why don't you tell the truth then? You're not actually saying any sort of truth. You just sound like a big crybaby who's mad because someone doesn't agree with you. But you haven't said any sort of truth. Science backs it up. Yeah, where? What science are you talking about? And what about the part where Jesus is a Jewish fairy tale? Do you not like that part, or what is it? I know you don't know the Bible. I know you're one of these dumbasses who doesn't even know what it says. Look at how you responded. Look at how you tried to be all tough until, like, I'm surprised you actually caught on, because most of you are so stupid you can't catch on. But when I pointed out that you were trying to act all violent, oh yeah, you wouldn't say that in real life. When I asked you what you would do about it, you haven't answered yet. I'm not mad. Yeah, it sounds like you're not mad. To see I love you. Oh, you love me. Wow, I feel bad for the people in your family. You know, if this is how you treat people you love, like, you're a sick motherfucker. But then again, you're a Christian. The whole thing is based in, like, you're not good enough and, you know, you're stupid and you need to submit to the will of the Jews, and, you know, you're really dumb. It's pretty crazy. But, you know, look at, there's no point, because you're not even able to answer any of the questions. You're not even, you know, you can't engage in the debate conversation. You're just sort of crying. And, you know, that gets boring after a minute. I don't like picking on the special kid. I found the right stream. You definitely did, so don't forget to like, share, and sub. It's only you who can tear me apart. And it's only you who can turn my wooden heart. Keep roasting, bro. It's not hard. I hate it, though. She says, you're mad crying. Y-O-U-R. Mad crying. Y-O-U-R. Wow. Y-O-U apostrophe R-E. Really smart. Obviously. Go talk to someone in real life, yeah. Because, you know, this is what happens when you try to talk to Christians. This is what happens. They get all mad they start threatening. They want to fight. They want to get all mad. And it's like, what's wrong with you? You fucking Neanderthal. How are you this stupid? I thought you were a good Christian. But this is what they do. And right now, you actually have the advantage, right? Because I'm the one that's in the live, so you would have to, like, you know, if you said something that stumped me or whatever, everyone would see it. What I say to you, nobody gets to see your reactions. You look disheveled. Can't even shave or brush my teeth. Yes, my teeth aren't brushed either. Look at the dumbass Christian. Passing all sorts of insanity judgment because they're too stupid to actually come up with anything legitimate. Like, you could ask this dumbass Christian, look, he has so much to say, right? Ask him, why is he a Christian? What proof do you have that Christianity is true and Islam is false? I don't need to hold your hand. What? What are you even talking about? Hold my hand? You got yourself in a debate where you started looking really stupid. Now, to back up your argument would be holding my hand? Really? That's how you think this works? You think like debates are where you just come in somewhere and start crybabying? And then the other person's supposed to be like, oh, okay, well, I don't want to hurt your feelings, crybaby, so. I mean, it's embarrassing how ridiculous you sound. You don't respect yourself. Yep, I don't respect myself because I don't believe in Sky Daddy. How dare I not respect myself for not believing in the Jewish fairy tales? Like, it's just so ridiculous. Oh, now it's boring. So notice how, again, you ask the Christian the simple question, why do you believe in Christianity? What evidence do you have? What proof do you have that your thing is the right one? And they don't. They have all sorts of shit to say, but then when it gets to that one part, they're just dumb-ass Christians. Just like dumb-ass Muslims. It's all the... And nothing... Fantasy. It's fantasy. It's false bullshit. The fact is, they don't actually believe in that shit. They say they do, but they don't. But this is how it is, right? Go watch a documentary instead of getting the cigarettes. Yeah, see? I'd go watch a documentary because you can't answer simple questions. Thank you, dumbass Christian. Thank you, dumbass Muslim. Thank you, dumbass religious person. Okay? Ask them why do they personally believe in something, and they're like, go watch a documentary. Yep. Sounds like you know your shit really good, really well. Be honest with yourself. No pride. How wouldn't you need to have more pride to not believe in the Jewish fairy tale that everyone's supposed to believe in than to just be some dumbass crybaby who can't actually express why they believe and what they believe? Spirituality is personal. You can't prove faith for others. You need to prove it to yourself. Oh yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, except for the idea that there's literally genocide happening right now because of religious bullshit. Never mind that stuff. You're just a mocker. Yep. Yep. Funny how you can't fucking... You just have nothing to say. It's strange, man. You guys are just so stupid. But you have to be. Somebody can't. I don't know how you can be intelligent and believe in religion. You don't speak on things you don't know. Yeah, okay. Religion is subjective, faith is personal. As a Muslim, oh, you're an idiot. I have seen signs to confirm my faith. How come it's like pulling teeth? How come if you've seen so much and blah, 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 how come you don't just start with those things? How come you don't provide these so many signs that you've seen to prove your faith? It's funny how they always say that shit, right? You would think they'd be happy to express their miracles. God came down and changed the direction of things, and they're like, don't ask about that. Crazy how the definition of genocide means nothing to you. Of course it doesn't. He's a dumbass. Yeah, good for the game. Gene pool, compare. I know, because I can't answer. Look at this dumbass just saying craziness. Instead of expressing why he believes in what he believes, it's this. It's just long-winded crybaby excuses. It's wild, man. And I always ask, if you honestly believe in Jesus, right? You actually believe in the power of prayer. How come you don't use all your prayer power to ask Jesus to show up and pay Netanyahu a visit? Tell him what he's doing is wrong and he needs to knock it off. Cut it out. Netanyahu, you crazy Yahoo. How come God, Jesus, doesn't appear to Netanyahu to tell him to stop killing all the Christians? They're just stupid. Go to Gaza and see how you're welcomed. Yep, go to Gaza. Yeah. You would have been welcomed just fine prior to there not being a Gaza left. Palestine was very welcoming of outsiders. The only reason it's difficult is because of the Jewish element. I mean, look at how stupid these guys are. Why do you hate others? Because they support pedophilia and genocide? Yeah, I'm proud of my hatred. You keep saying it like it's a bad thing. Because, my mommy told me that I wasn't supposed to hate things. Mom, you have hate in your heart. How can you truly know love if you don't have a relationship with hate? And I'm extremely proud of my hate. I couldn't be more proud of my hatred of pedophiles, especially in the church. I couldn't be more proud of my hatred of Israel and the friars and all of religion. I hate it. I proudly hate religion. It's a control scheme. It's fake. It's used to manipulate people, and it ruins people's lives all the time. I'm proud to hate it. I'd love to hear why I shouldn't, but we all know you're too stupid to say anything, so. They're just stupid, man. I don't know why you're letting yourself get drug into it. These friar bots, man, they're so dumb. They're so embarrassingly dumb, and it's like I hate the fact that we're both considered humans. I hate that you and I are the same species. You're not Matt, these other fucking guys. They're just such awful human beings, and it's really just terrible that you know, that so much true hatred can exist, right? Like that you be tricked into the religious bullshit and you know, like these Palestinians, what's been done to them has just been outrageous. And a large, well, not a large, a reasonable sized portion of the population was Christian. I mean, they've been killed. But you don't give a fuck about people. If you're putting religious significance over people's lives, you don't give a fuck about people. You're so proud, right? Yes, I'm very proud of my hatred of your crazy insanity, your pedophile nonsense. Unlike you, I'm not selfish. I'm not like, oh, I want to go to heaven when I die, so I'm going to pretend like my faith isn't known for raping children all the time. And then not doing anything to those that get caught doing it. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. If that's the God I have to worship, then I'm not interested. That God can eat a whole bag of dicks. It's not about getting to heaven. It's about helping you avoid the eternal blah, 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 blah. Shut the fuck up. The eternal suffering that, the God that loves you so much, if you don't give money to the church and you don't thank him for every meal you get and for your sins, God loves you so much he's going to send you to hell to burn eternity. Yeah, I don't want anything to do with that stupid ass God. That God is not real. And see, this guy is so stupid that, again, he can't wrap his head around that. He keeps saying how much I blame God and all this. Like, you're just so dumb. That's like me blaming the color blue. Oh, I hate blue. Blue is so fucked up. How dare blue do things? Like, I'm against blue. God is not evil, bro. Well, tell that to the Palestinian children that have been starved to death and are currently just slowly dying underneath a bunch of rubble from a rocket that destroyed the building they were in. That God's chosen people dropped on them for no fucking reason. Go ahead and tell that to them. Yeah. What about the child that's screaming and crying and praying left and right that God steps in and stops the violent rape he's receiving from the clergyman, from the fucking clergy that's raping him for the umpteenth time, and he's praying that God comes and rescues him, and, well, God doesn't. Yeah, what about then? That God's not evil? Because, according to your belief structure, that God has, a bird's eye, not just a bird's eye view, a this close. I know you can barely see it, but God is right there. He can smell it as the kid is tearing and bleeding and screaming and crying, and the preacher's like, and the priest is, just going to town. Yeah, God's right there watching it. Like, oh shit, that looks vicious. That poor kid. Somebody should save him, huh? Eating his God popcorn and shit. You're so stupid, it's unreal. If you believe that there is genocide, that there is child rape, that there is anything like that in a world where a God only has to dinkle, dinkle, dink with its nose and make anything change, yet, God doesn't do that. God doesn't do that. Yet, let somebody win a race and say, first of all glory be to God. Without God, I wouldn't have been able to run faster than those other championship runners. Nobody ever says to them, hey, don't say that. You know, the only time people tell you not to say that about God is when it's the negative shit, the real life stuff, not the fake dumb shit like, oh, I caught a touchdown. Stephon Diggs catches a touchdown, and the two defenders actually fall down, and he runs in with 0 time left and wins the game, blah blah blah. And afterwards he's like, I don't know how you could say that's anything other than God right there. Right, because God was a Vikings fan that day. The incredible arrogance it takes to be a Christian is just so far beyond anything I understand. So far beyond who I am as a person. I could never, ever be that arrogant to think that, yeah, there are people, praying that bombs don't get dropped on them right this fucking moment, right this second. They're praying that the bombs don't fall on these. Boom. But hey, no, as long as I give my 10% each week, God's paying attention to me. Huh? Oh, you have no love in your cold heart. I have no love in my cold heart because I'm talking about the people, the poor people that are, having bombs dropped on them and all the children that are being raped. Yes, I'm the cold one. Not the person that seemingly overlooks it for their own personal benefit. Nah, it's the guy that thinks it's awful and something needs to be done about it. That's the bad person. Look how dumb this person is, man. Good old Sam. Look how dumb Sam is. It's so embarrassing. It's so scary. Like these are the Trump supporters, right? These are the people that support this man, even though it's all the shit that's come out. The murders that he is associated with thanks to these new files dropping. Like, they still support it. They don't care if he's a pedo. I saw a picture of a guy in a shirt that says, I don't care if he's a pedo. I still support Trump. Like, what kind of fucking insane morons are these? And at the same time, these are the same fucking crybabies that if something were to happen to them or their family or something like that, like this dumbass who was like, you wouldn't say that in real life because he's going to fight. Oh, he's going to fight. I want to fight you because you say words I don't like. Like, they're just so fucking stupid. It's just crazy, man. It's crazy. Political parties. Come on. Like, again, you're stupid enough to say that you're a Christian and you're a Republican, and you're stupid enough to align yourself with shit you know nothing about. Because you know nothing about Christianity. You know nothing about your party. You know nothing about any of that shit. You're just some dumb, fucking arrogant, racist piece of shit who, puts his own needs before anything else. You're an NPC, man. You're just hoping to get to the end of the fucking game. I just can't imagine being so insecure like that. I can't imagine, and you see again how they talk, like, if you don't believe the thing that everyone else believes without any sort of evidence or questioning, then you're the stupid one. You're the crazy one. Like, what are you fucking talking about? You don't even know about your own shit, and you say you believe it. How, it doesn't get any worse than that. Sam is hurt. That's why he's deflecting everything. He understands. Like I say, I tend to believe that the people that say that they're the most religious, I don't think anybody actually believes in that bullshit. I mean, look at all the sins that he's done on this feed alone. His judgment, his vague threats of violence, like, if he actually believed that there was a chance that he could go to hell for all of eternity, he would live a different life. But he knows his shit's dumb as fuck. And he's really trying to, like, mentally accommodate for that, but he can't. They can't. I've been doing this for such a long time, and to not have any Christians, any scholars, anything that were even slightly capable of having any sort of, intelligent conversation. It's impossible. If that shit was true, then there would have been people that have come through and been able to, really put the spanking to me. Anyway, I'm about to get to my destination, so I'm going to be a little busy. And then I'm going to be back live for another. Join me when we come back, and we'll finish this up. Pedophiles, kill yourself. Don't forget to check all the descriptions the links in the description.